The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the great escape from the homelands.
Welcome back to the channel, and today we are checking out Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Now this game here, I'm going to do a big shout out to Awaken Realms. I reached out and got a key for this and got invited to do so for their big event, which was their newest update to this early access title, 0.7, where they added in a new zone and a ton of new content. We're not going to see that today because I only just got to start playing about a day ago, and of course I wanted to experience this from the beginning and find out what it is all about. And so in this video we're just going to take a look at the first half an hour of the game, and I'm going to have some gameplay in the background, and I'm just going to talk about it, and specifically Steam Deck. And so that's what we're going to do. First off, we'll go through my recommended settings. This game's still in early access, so performance is a little bit hit or miss at the moment, but I'm sure once they get to release, performance will increase, as it is an Unreal Engine game, so hopefully we will get some better performance as time goes on. But we'll jump into the main menu here in just a moment and go through my recommended settings before you jump in. Of course you can change it to whatever you want, but this is what's working for me. Main thing is to make it full screen and drop it down to 960 by 600, VSync on, and then we'll jump over to video, and here we've got dynamic resolution off, we've got it on TAA, general is on medium, view distance is at 30%, vegetation low, effects quality medium, fog low, SSAO, motion blur on, and if you've missed anything in there, just slow the video down and have another look. Now we'll jump to some gameplay. So as you can see here, we've got our character creator. Again, work in progress. This is early access, but if you are into Skyrim or an open world RPG, Witcher style and first person, this game is going to actually be right up your alley. If you're just wanting that itch of a fantasy open world RPG, this could be it. Of course the game's not finished yet, but you get to go on the journey as they create it, and I must admit I've been thoroughly enjoying my first 2 hours of the game. Again, it's awesome to have this on the deck. While performance isn't perfect, it is definitely playable on this machine, and you'll understand why when we get into gameplay. Even with the settings as they are, I think it looks pretty good, and of course it's only going to get better as time goes by. Right, enjoy.
Look, we just have to get this over and done with. Unless you want a visit from someone upstairs. And trust me, you don't. Just like before, no food until we're done here. And the moment you start getting on my nerves, we're going back to my tried and tested fists. So, tell me, what were you doing in the forest when the Red Shields caught you?
As you can see here, they've got a full-on voice system, which is great to see in this kind of game. The production values are really high for this title, and you go through here, and it basically you can make your character by answering these questions for archery, and you know, like depending on what you answer is what stat upgrades you get. And this is quite a cool opening to, you know, a very big homage to some other open world RPGs, if you get my drift. And I think it's worth mentioning here, the setting, if you haven't realized already, it's got the whole Arthur and, you know, the legend around that, but, you know, an alternative timeline where things have gone awry and the world is very different to what we know it as, and it just seems like a very unique take. And if you don't know who Awaken Realms are, they used to be first and foremost a miniatures company, so seeing them jump into video games like this is actually kind of cool. So it's been great to see. So we'll jump forward here into some gameplay, and you can see some more of the game. As you can see here, they have a full-on inventory system. And one thing I quite like is you have 4 weapon loadouts. So you can have your mace and shield, and maybe your two-handed sword, and your bow and arrows, and then potentially maybe a couple of spells that you can flick between. And I think that's quite a cool way of doing it. And you pull the left bumper, and that brings up your radial wheel to switch between them, and also your quick items like healing pots and crafted items that you might have made. As you can see here, the vibe is very, very good. I love the art. Of course, as a miniatures company, I'm assuming they've lent some of their talent to make the art for this game, because it's really nice, some of it. Especially in the like if you watched the opening cutscene earlier, the art there is gorgeous, as well as some more here. Anyway, we'll continue on. I'll show some more gameplay, and I'll be back soon. This game can actually be quite challenging, and blocking doesn't mean you do take no damage. You still take damage on a block, but if you do a perfect block, you get the ability to knock down their stamina. So if you perfectly block, say a couple or 2 or 3 times, you'll stun them for a moment and do some extra damage. But of course, you're still taking damage even on those perfect blocks. As you see here, I get wiped out by this guy as I was not prepared for him, and I struggle with this guy the first time, but we do get there the second time, luckily. He's a bit harder than the undead we were facing earlier, but we do take him down. I have to use a lot of potions. Yeah, the first time I did this, I died, and then I was like, I better not leave that in here, so I switched it out for where I actually defeat him, and it makes this look a little bit better on mine, and I don't look like such a noob. So I'm just going to stick this here. If you're finding this video helpful or useful, please let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of content. And also, if you do, give it a like and a sub. I would really appreciate it. We're slowly working our way towards 1,000 subs, and I'd love to get there sometime this year. And of course, Steam Deck is where we're at. So this is all I'm going to be going hard on Steam Deck for this foreseeable future. And of course, this is on the OLED Steam Deck also. So if this is looking good to you, get into it. I am using Cryo Utilities here as well as just as a preference, but I don't think not using Cryo would make too much of a difference here. But something to keep in mind, and we'll get back to some more gameplay. The developer Questline, they're an indie team of like 30 plus people, and this game feels much more comparable to a much bigger team. So really, I just want to be really clear, like these guys are doing really great work with what they've got here. And the amount of content that they're giving in early access it's quite high. Like they're saying there's over 30 hours of content plus in early access. So even at that, that's amazing at the moment. So you can't really ask for much more there, and the amount of systems that they're working on adding to this game is huge. The weapons, and I have no idea where this is going to end up, but the open world RPG where you can go anywhere you want, and it's supposed to be quite complex with branching storylines, along with the ability to dual wield, which I think is really cool. There's going to be player-owned housing, gardening, fishing, feathery systems, and even more. So I really can't take away from what these guys are doing. So I've got to really take my hat off to Questline and Awaken Realms for like getting in and doing the mahi, because this is some cool stuff, and being able to play this on the Steam Deck is really cool. As you can see here, they've got time of day going on, and the game can get quite moody. So this is the second zone, and there's this is after you escape the prison and you end up on another island. And I'm just exploring around here. I've put the frame counter on. As you can see, it drops down a wee bit here, but it shouldn't make much of a difference. Like, don't look at that too hard. I think you should just play it for what it is and enjoy it the way it is. The dark world of this, I think, really adds to it. And I'm showing you the first opening hour or two of the game. If you go onto the Steam page, and which I'll have a link below, you'll see that this game is very large in scale, and this is just a very, very small opening portion of the game. So I definitely want you guys to check out the whole game. I don't normally gush this much about a game, but just the fact when I loaded it up, the main theme music was just got me pumped. I was like, this is cool. Like, this has got me going. Like, I can feel it. And you can see in the footage behind me, it's getting darker and darker as time goes on, and you end up having to just put a camp down and resting, because otherwise it gets to the point where you can't see where you're going. And I'm assuming you can get torches, which I didn't have, and so I was like, I'm just gonna put a bloody thing down and rest here until morning, because otherwise I can't see. And to level up, you also need to rest. You can't just level up whenever you want, which is pretty standard, I think, for most not all RPGs. It's kind of a mix, isn't it, between leveling up on the go and having to rest and level. Yeah, so as you can see here, I've filled out my weapon slots with all sorts of different things, and you can quickly change between them from the quick menu. I do have I get a little bit confused with the quick items, in that maybe it should, because there's 3 slots in the quick items, but there's only 2 spots in the menu. I'm not too sure what that's about. As you can see, there's crafting when you're at a cooking pot. You've got all that, like I was saying, with fishing and all that too. So there's going to be a ton of ways to play. They're talking about things like playing a tanky soldier or agile hunter, powerful mage, and there's perks, there's stats. I haven't shown off the menus a lot here because it's kind of boring to look at, but there is a lot of perks to pick from. You can do a lot of comboing because of the way the dual wielding works in this game, between your potions and daggers, relics, and all that stuff. It's got everything going on. I like the idea that it's got the Arthurian legend stuff, which is fully voiced over too, which really helps. Because for an indie game, you don't always expect fully voiced games, which is, to be expected, right, for the size of the team. But the fact they've got that really adds to that King Arthur feeling about stuff that's going on. And then you've got the weirdness, which is a chaotic force, which is what you're going to see when I rest. It was present, like there's lore behind that, and it's like a chaotic force that's present in Avalon. And then King Arthur got rid of it, and now it's back, and you've got to you've got to survive, and I assume destroy the weirdness or push it back to where it once belonged. So that is my 2 cents on this game, and one last thank you to Awaken Realms and the developers Questline for giving me the opportunity to check this out, because it's really cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let some more gameplay run in the background for another half an hour or 10 minutes or so, and you can keep watching and watch the Steam Deck footage and get your thoughts on the quality of the how it plays on Steam Deck, and let me know in the comments below if there's something you're willing to check out. So big thank you to you, everybody, including the watchers. You guys make this like half the fun, is showing off games that surprise and delight, and this one is one of those. So I just want to say thank you guys, and I want to say thanks to the developers and the publisher. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the video, and yeah, give us a like and a sub if you think this was a good video, or if you have any criticisms, please let me know. If you think there's a better way for me to record the footage or cut. I don't like overly cutting my videos because I just want to show you minute to minute gameplay without breaking it up a million times. So yeah, alright guys, we'll catch you in the next video. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.
This place is creepy as shite. How much longer do we have to wait to take down that damn noose?
4 days and 4 nights. That's what the arsehole told me. Said it'd bring bad luck if we cut them down too soon.
So that they're dead. It's not like they'll Thanks.